How's it going, guys? So, I've been wanting to play some Minecraft for a while, and I thought now would be as good a time as any. So here we go. I've set myself up a little bit of a mod pack in 1.10. If you're interested in something similar, this is probably quite close to the Direwolf 20 pack, although I built it independently and it has some differences, like we've got realistic terrain generation here, so instead of different biomes having kind of really quite jagged differences in terrain, we've got these smooth rolling hills. Produces some quite nice stuff. Let's have a look at it on the map there. You can really see that the world does not generate like a normal vanilla world. We've even got some rivers. I'm gonna have to show you some of these rivers at some point. They are really cool. So yeah, I've done a little bit of stuff in the world. I went on one mining expedition just to get some basic resources, and I've been exploring the world a bit to find interesting places. So you can see I've got some stuff in my inventory. So the focus of this series is going to be building a massive arcology, which basically is a huge builder, like a massive structure which can be entirely kind of self-sustaining. So it's basically, I want to build a huge, somewhat sci-fi themed base with a lot of verticality. I want to have it be it's really kind of tall, massive structure. But I'm also going to be using a lot of magic mods, so call it a Magitech Arcology, I guess. So I'm just going to set up a few little things here. It's time, I think. I've gone and gotten some basic resources. Really, just spent an hour or so mining. So, and I do that mostly just because I didn't want to subject people to me punching wood in the first video. So I'm going to start setting up a little bit of basic power gen, get myself a bit kind of set up here to do some interesting stuff, and we'll start talking a bit more about the mod pack. Okay, so I've got all the basic stuff like Ender IO, RF tools, all of your normal tech mods. In fact, almost all of the tech mods which are in Direwolf 20. I've also got roots, embers, and a particular mod called Astral Sorcery, which we'll be getting to in a minute. Okay, so what I need is now Astral Sorcery is quite an interesting mod. It's I don't know much about it yet, but it looks really cool. So I'm very, very much looking forward to having a play of it. Oh, I need some wooden planks, don't I? So let's get those crafted up. Should be able to just make one of these now. I want to make 2 pistons, just in case. You never can tell. Which means I'm going to need enough sticks for, I believe, 8 gears. Oh no, that's actually more than I need, but okay. Oh, I'm going to need some blocks. Let's cook up a little bit of stone. Okay, so while that's cooking, let's have a look at the Astral Sorcery book here. You have this little journal that you start with, and it starts you out kind of out like this. It's got this really interesting kind of graphical effect on it. You can scroll in, and you start off with just one page, Discovery. So it's kind of like an achievement system layout almost, and each one will kind of guide you through. Think of it as a little bit like the Thorncraft research system, except the discovery process for new kind of technologies is a little bit different. So you've got like a lot of new things. Aquamarines, I haven't got any of those yet. I'm going to have to get some. That's constellation page. The first thing we're going to want to find, though, is ancient shrines. So these are scattered across the world, as it says here. And there's actually one in view of us right over there. And what they've got is sometimes they've got this crystal underneath them. They also have chests hidden in their structure as well that can have lots of kind of valuable stuff from the mod. And if you put a crafting table underneath one of these shrines, oh, it's already getting dark, then you can start doing some of the modded stuff. So what we're going to have to do is get some aquamarines, because the wand, which we want to make, which is like the first item really you're going to actively use in the mod, requires 2 aquamarines and an ender pearl. An ender pearl, it's, you know, they can be a little bit of a hassle. It's low tech, but it shouldn't be too bad to get. It's just mainly the aquamarines which are going to be harder to find. Okay, so have I got enough of them yet for those? I do not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a load of this, and I'm going to burn up a load of cobble, because I've got a lot of it. And that'll mean when I come back, I can do some of the tech mod stuff. So let's get that. Let's just head down here and have a poke at this shrine. I investigated one briefly in creative mode in a different world while I was setting up the pack. So I know they can have stuff in them. And I think they've also got one of the things from the kind of ocean biome dungeons that vanilla Minecraft has. Yeah, the sea lanterns here. So let's start mining down. So we go down like this. We might be lucky, and this one might have a chamber beneath it, but they don't all have a chamber. So we might not get one. It looks like... I don't think this one has it. Let's... No, we don't. Oh yeah, one thing I should mention is you might notice that the water texture here is a little bit different to what you're used to. And that is because it is the water texture from BOO's texture pack. And I kind of butchered the texture pack and removed almost everything except the water from it, because I wanted the texture pack to be vanilla that I was using, except for the water, because I hate default Minecraft water. And this here, I much prefer. And as the build I want to do is going to incorporate a certain amount of water, well, I thought it was best if I did something about that. So let's see. You can often find these on the map. They are white structures, and they often appear on the mountains. But if you look here, we can see there is a structure which looks suspiciously square, you might say. So let's go on a bit of a hike over here. We're going over to that mountaintop. That'll give us a bit of a nice view of the surrounding area as well. So let's just go for a little run. I'm going to get some of your food, even though... Oh, I probably don't really need it. But yeah, it's been interesting getting this pack to work. I had a lot of issues with OBS, and I've eventually had to go to using its NVENC encoder. Basically, using my CPU to encode and play the game was bringing me from about 300 FPS down to 20, which was pretty extreme, especially considering on the same version of Minecraft and the same version of OBS, in fact, I was not getting the same kind of trouble earlier on a different project I did. But, well, I got it sorted eventually, and I'm hoping the record comes out not too pixely. Oh, there's a zombie there. Okay, I was not expecting to see you in broad daylight, but okay. Now, let's... now, this is one thing. You know, regular viewers of my channel will know that I mostly play Creativerse. This is one thing I do not miss from Minecraft. The constant leaping to get over individual blocks, because in Creativerse you can go over 2 and sometimes even 3 with a jump. It's like you're in low gravity, and it's much nicer for going up mountains. Okay, now this looks a lot more altar-like. So let's, I've been told, as a word to the wise, to try going under the pillars at the outside. So maybe they have chests under them? But let's just go down. Oh, yep, this looks like an interior chamber to me. Oh, yep. Oh, and here's our crystal. Okay. So, and, oh, an aquamarine. Iron ingots and 2 constellation papers. Okay, so we've got, oh, and that, if you look at that, okay, if we go into our book now, yeah, we've gained, 2 more constellations. I'm sure that there's going to be stuff we can do with that later. And I've gotten 1 aquamarine. Oh, excellent. We've gotten more. That's wonderful. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. One of them's stayed blank and the other hasn't, but I'm sure we'll learn more about how that all works later on. So yeah, a lot of the basic tech stuff I'm gonna do. I've been thinking about probably doing off camera, but let me know what you think. Okay, so you see how it kind of shines down on it there. That shows us that we can do stuff here. Let me know how much of the basic tech stuff you want to see on camera, because I feel like a lot of people have shown that, and maybe people wouldn't be so interested in seeing it, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe people would like to see it. Let's get the wand here. I believe it's this guy, Resonating Wand. Oh yeah, we need the Ender Pearl to actually get that done. I completely forgot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and stalk some Endermen, get us an Ender Pearl, and then we can craft a wand here and start seeing how this mod works. See you in a minute, guys. Okay, so it looks like this guy was ambushing me as I came back to the altar. Very rude of him. Stop it. Okay, that's him dealt with. Okay. So, after a lot of punching and 2 deaths, I have my first Ender Pearl of the world. So let's go on here and lay out the crafting recipe for it. I believe it was like this. Aha! So, we have our Resonating Wand. Now let's consult the book, because I don't have a clue what this does. Okay, so when it's held in either hand at night, it vibrates and emits energetic sparks of white light that gather in seemingly random locations around the surface of the land. Nothing seems out of place or special on the surface, though. Maybe there's something deep underground. And so it recommends I go underground, it seems. And there's also this, which will be the next thing I think we'll be doing with the mod. Using a regular crafting table to interact with the starlight emitted by the shrine crystal, henceforth labelled as collector crystals, seems to be rather inefficient. The table is only able to receive a small amount of starlight from the crystal. Not only that, but the table must be in very close proximity to the crystal in order to receive any light at all. So eventually I think the idea is we're going to be being powered by starlight, but this is like a synthetic source of starlight. It's just not as good as the real thing. So, the luminous crafting table solves both issues perfectly. It is able to absorb and utilize a much larger amount of starlight than the crafting table and the ruins. It does not require a connection to the collector crystal to collect starlight at all, as it has its own receptacle. Okay, cool. So, it looks like from this, we just need any old piece of marble, a crafting table, and sooty marble, which is coal and lots of marble. Okay, so what we need is those items. I just need to go back and grab some coal, and we will also be needing it to a high hilltop, yeah, once we've got that, that'll be good. So we just need to make it. It needs to be built quite high. Because as it said there, I'm not sure if you were able to read it. I neglected to read it out loud, but the higher it is physically in the world, the more effect it will have. So I'm just going to go down and grab the resources for the next step, and we'll do things right out on here, I guess. We might as well, at least. So, again, see you in a moment. Okay, so I believe I have the resources. First off, we're going to have to make some sooty marble, and that, I believe, is done just by surrounding some of them in the coal, and there we have it. So now, I think what we need is another crafting table. Now, let's just check the recipe. I just need to remind myself. Yeah, and the crafting table, sooty marble, and the marble blocks down the sides. So let's use these. That, and the crafting table here. Okay, interesting. That's not working. I wonder why. Was I using the correct... Maybe it doesn't want the marble bricks. Maybe that is an issue. Okay. Yep, that looks like was the issue. Okay. Your vision expands. You've learned more about exploration. Okay, so when you've crafted that, it looks like that is a trigger for expanding your knowledge pool. Now, let's hope... there's probably going to be something really nasty waiting for me up here. So what I should do is get some torches ready. Probably should have torched the place up before I came down. But, well, who cares about doing things in a sensible way? I am always dying to doing things in very silly ways. If we just get this main area up here torched up like this, we should be mostly okay. Ooh. Oh, you're an embers guy. Let's duke it out with you. Because you're slow and not very intelligent. So, I should be actually relatively safe from you, as long as I keep my distance. Okay. Core stone. That's probably going to be useful for the Embers mod. The Embers mod is basically like a dwarven techno magic mod. It's really interesting, actually, and we'll be doing a bit of that once we're a little bit more established and have some more resources set up. So, yeah, let's get out the wand. With the wand, I believe we should be able to... Ah, yeah. You see down there, that's some starlight. Now, that's in a very unpleasant area surrounded by nasty things. So let's see if we can find some elsewhere. That might be our only option. Okay. So, it's definitely clear off that bit of land time, I think. Oh, no, it's not as bad as I thought. I thought that those are... There's only just the creeper and the zombie. We can deal with that. Strategic, letting him blow up. Let's take out the skeleton as well. Okay. And of course, the zombies have somehow multiplied, as they always do. And there's more behind me as well. Early game in Minecraft always gets a little bit sketchy. Okay. Yeah, let's place it down here. Yep, it's filling up. Okay, it's filling up. If you saw the gauge there. This is a bit dangerous. I'm kind of trying to do this without really having the level of preparation that you're kind of supposed to have. So, I should be expecting these problems, really. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, I think, to seize control of this. So give me a moment and I'll be back. Okay, so I've laid down a load of torches in the area, and we're not entirely safe. There's a skeleton down there, but we're doing a lot better. Oh, there is a zombie coming. I'll see to him. It always seems like zombies have a huge aggro range. I'm sure they've got a longer aggro range than they used to have. Okay, you are being too much. You have to stop. That's it. Okay, so we can see if we go in here that this is half full, so it could be better, this area, if it had more starlight, but it's good enough for some things. Now, if we go into the book, we see that we've unlocked a new area called Exploration, and it's kind of down to the southeast of Discovery there. And it's basically a new tech tree, and it's all based on the light well, which is a new item we can make. Oh, I'm being attacked by something horrible. Okay, so I'm going to run away from them and explain what the light well is. Basically, it condenses starlight into a liquid that can be used for some of the more advanced stuff in the mod, but it requires a rock crystal. And the ones in the altars here, which I thought I might be able to use, they are floating crystals, so they cannot actually be used. And the rock crystals, I would presume, are going to be somewhere deep underground. So for now, the progression of the mod is halted until I go down and get a load more stuff. So we won't be having time for that this video, I think. But what I'm going to do is run away from all the nasty stuff here and talk a little bit more about what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the season of this series. So, as I said before, the goal of this series is to build a massive Magitech Arcology. I'm thinking building in loads of curvy shapes and lots of white stone, have lots of water flowing everywhere, and all sorts of cool things. But the very next thing I need to do is to set up a starter base, because the build I've got in mind is going to be very big. Immense, in fact. I'm thinking that it might have a base of about 150 blocks in diameter, but it will be getting bigger than that as it goes up. So it's going to be pretty big. So I need resources before I can get started. Ooh, this is getting a little bit dangerous. Oh, that was close. Okay. So I went and slept, and it is now daylight. Okay. There's a lot of... I'm being attacked by a mob of children, which is slightly disturbing. Okay. A lot of things hanging around on my rooftop, it looks like. Okay, so yeah. I need to set up a starter base, and I'm thinking I'm going to do it just coming off in this little valley here. This is a nice kind of valley as a starter zone, but I'm going to show you on the map for now that I'm thinking that the place I'll do the big base will be in this big plainland down here, because I need a big, wide, kind of level area just to for the footprint of the build. But this area in here will be a good area for a starter base. So I'm thinking of making it kind of like a sci-fi recon outpost. You know, you've set up like a little scanning station or just a radar post on a planet to kind of do a little bit of reconnaissance and figure out what's there, and to maybe prospect and see if it's worth sending a settling colony there. So that's going to be the theme for this base. What I'm going to do is get a little bit more stuff set up. I'm going to do... oh, had a bit of lag there. What I want you to let me know is whether you want me to do the mod stuff, like we've got going on here, off camera. Like, I've got the... like, I'm doing Astral Sorcery on camera, because it's a new mod, and I find it very interesting. But what do people think about things like Ender IO? You know, a lot of people have seen people do the Ender IO stuff, like in the beginning of the video, I was setting up stuff for the Sterling engines. And, you know, maybe people are interested in that, and maybe they're not. And I don't know which that would be. So, if you have an opinion on whether you'd rather see stuff like that in the videos, or whether I should skip it, do let me know. Okay, so now I've got those, and so I'm just going to probably just put a sag mill underneath these and just double up my ore, and then we'll be in a good place to start building the base. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see the more run-of-the-mill mods gone through on camera, or whether I should skip some stuff and just do things like that off camera that people have seen before, because I don't know how much people want to see, because I myself am fairly familiar with seeing people do stuff like this on videos, and I'm more about the building myself, so I want to mainly focus on showing the stuff I'm building on camera, and the more interesting stuff doing with the mods, but not less so the kind of mundane things. But let me know what you think. So I think that's about it for today. Next video, we're going to be getting a base set up to do some of the basic tech we're going to need to get together to set up the kind of building for the main base, and doing a bit more Astral Sorcery as well. And depending, might start on a few other of the newer mods as well. But we'll see how it goes. In any case, I really hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think, or any advice on kind of what kind of things you'd like me to do. And I'll see you next time. See you later.